Imagine being a white Southern woman in the 1960s, born and raised in the land of segregation, where racism was so thick, you could probably spread it on toast. Now imagine telling your family, your friends, and basically the entire state of Mississippi, nah, I'm not with that. Well, that's exactly what Joan Trumpauer Mulholland did. And let me tell you, sis did not just talk the talk, she walked it, ran it, and probably got chased while doing it. Let's get into her story. Joan was born in 1941 in Arlington, Virginia, where everything was whites-only schools, restaurants, even the water fountains. The whole system was built to keep people apart. But Joan, she wasn't having it. Even as a kid, she knew racism was wrong. She once asked her mom why black and white people couldn't sit and eat together. And when her mom gave her the typical, "that's just the way it is" excuse, Joan was like,
"What kind of shit is that? Hell no!"
By the time she got to college, Joan was fully in the movement. She dropped out of her all-white school and transferred to the first historically black college to accept white students. Tougaloo College in Mississippi. That's right, Joan said, "I'm about to major in civil rights and minor in making racism mad." And oh, did she make them mad. Joan became a freedom rider, which meant she was hopping on buses and riding straight into the most racist parts of the South, just to prove that segregation on public transportation was illegal. And let me tell you, these trips weren't some peaceful road trip with snacks and with good music. They were dangerous. One of her buses got firebombed. She was spat on, cursed out, and beaten. But did she quit? Nope, she kept showing up. One of the most famous moments of her activism happened in 1963 at a Woolworth's lunch counter sit-in in Jackson, Mississippi. She sat there cool as ice while a mob of white men shouted and threw ketchup, mustard, and coffee all over her. But Joan didn't even blink, because she knew that moment wasn't just about her, it was about the movement. For her activism, Joan was arrested and thrown into Parcham Penitentiary, one of the most brutal prisons in the South. Guards tried to break her in by making her sleep on a concrete floor and giving her no toilet paper and forcing her to eat disgusting food. But Joan still didn't fold. After she got out, she kept fighting. She marched in Salem, worked with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and pushed for voting rights. Today, Joan Trumpauer Mulholland is one of the last living freedom riders. She's been honored everywhere, but she'll tell you she didn't just do it for awards. She did it because it was the right thing to do. And that's why her name belongs in Herstory Unveiled 007. Joan Trumpauer Mulholland wasn't supposed to be a civil rights hero. She was supposed to live the quiet life of a woman living in the South. But she chose justice over comfort, courage over fear, and love over hate. And that is what makes her one of the greatest to ever do it. She didn't have to risk her life. She could have stayed silent and lived comfortably and ignored what was happening around her. But she knew that silence is complicity. Racism doesn't just go away on its own. It takes people choosing to stand up, even when it's uncomfortable. If Joan could do it in facing mobs, arrests, and threats, then what excuse does anyone have today? So if you see injustice, speak up. If you hear racism, shut it down. Because fighting for what's right isn't just the responsibility of those being oppressed, it's on all of us. And that's how you win against hate.
Like and subscribe to show your support. Thank you.